Cousin Kate. Life's an everyday adventure. That's my philosophy. I woke up early this morning thinking about the fun plan my mother and I had made for today. She was going to teach me how to make my favorite blueberry pancakes. I got dressed and zipped downstairs. When I arrived, my mother and father were flying around the kitchen looking for something. "Good morning," I said cheerfully. They both said good morning, but without stopping their search. Then my mother stopped for a minute and asked if I had seen the blueberries she had bought yesterday. I told her that I hadn't seen them, but that I would help look. Since my parents had the kitchen covered, I thought I would look somewhere else. As I walked by the dog, I noticed she had a funny look on her face, like she was hiding something. I looked a little more carefully and saw that behind her was an empty blueberry box. The dog had eaten them. I ran back into the kitchen to share the news with my parents. My mother stopped and said, "Aha! I should have thought of that. I think I left them on the counter last night. Oh, that silly dog." I suddenly realized that this meant we weren't going to be able to make our pancakes. My father saw my sad face and quickly thought of an idea.
"Let's get that silly dog some exercise. We'll walk her to the store to get some more blueberries. It will be good for all of us."
My mother and I agreed, and off we went. On the way back, we ran into Thelma, the mail lady. She told me she had left me a big pink package sent from a far-away place. "Yahoo!" I cried as the dog and I started to run home. "Wait for us," my parents said, running behind us. My toes were tingling like a fireworks show in my moccasins by the time we reached home and saw the box. Just as Thelma had said, it was big, it was pink, and it was for me. My parents brought it inside and said it was from my favorite cousin Kate. My cousin Kate is truly terrific. She lives in a faraway place and does lots of really cool things. I know because she writes me letters telling me all about her life. But she had never sent a box before. We all quickly decided that we could learn how to make blueberry pancakes another day, and we opened the box. The first thing we saw was a letter and a box of chocolates for my parents. The rest was all for me. My mother began reading the letter aloud. As she did, I put my hand in the box and grabbed a small package that read, "Number 1. Wrapped in the package was a rock that looked like it was smiling, along with a picture of Kate on top of a snowy mountain. My mother read that Kate climbed one of the tallest mountains in the world, and on her way back down, she discovered the smiling rock. It immediately made her think of me, so she put it in her pocket as a token of her trip. Next, I pulled out a package with a number 2 on it. It was a square box, and in it was a leaf that looked like it was smiling too, along with a picture of Kate camping in a jungle. As my mother read all about Kate's camping trip, I tried to figure out how the leaf got the smiley face. At first, I thought it could have been the footprint of a wild animal or bird. Then I decided it made more sense that it was made by a big green worm that kept getting lost as it went back and forth, making the perfect smiley face on the leaf. I couldn't believe there were still more packages to open and more news to hear from Kate. I thought that this might be the best box I had ever received. When I opened the package with the number 3 on it, the photo was of Kate at a big concert, and there was also a stick with a smiley face on it. My mother continued to read that Kate had gone to the first 24-hour World Happiness Concert. She said there were thousands of people all listening to music and staying happy for 24 whole hours. It was almost the best day of her life. Package 4 was just a photo of Kate and her boyfriend, Paul. They both have big smiles on their faces. My mother read that this photo was taken on the best day of Kate's life, the day she and Paul decided to get married. Wow! This was great news, but it was also the end of my surprises. Now it was my turn to write to Kate. Ideas were flying in my head. I asked my mother to write as I paced and said things aloud. I had done so much since we last wrote to her. I told her I trained as a runner for the Olympics. Well, for one day anyway. I had also learned that some creatures use camouflage for safety. I had even made a kite and some new friends. I went on until my mother's hand was tired. I still had so much to say to Cousin Kate, so while my mother rested her hand, I began to draw. First, I drew my idea for her wedding dress. Next, I drew the kind of house I thought she and Paul should have. It looked a lot like our house, because if it works for us, it will probably be great for them, too. I didn't know if she had a dog, so I drew a picture of our favorite four-legged friend. I think everyone should have a dog, and ours is the best in the world. I hope they get one like ours, too. I kept drawing until my hand got tired. When we finally finished packing up the box to send back to Kate, it was time for bed. What a great day filled with great news! I fell asleep with the biggest smiley face on my face. Staying in touch with family like Cousin Kate, no matter how far away they are, can put a smiley face on almost anyone's face. Molly Moccasins, everyday adventurer.